Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Auburn Undercover podcast on the 24/7 Sports Network. Christian Clemente here, joined today by a very special guest, Auburn offensive line commit Kail Ellis. Kail, how you doing, buddy?
Good, how are you?
Good. Well, Kail, over the weekend you had some big news, some news that you've been thinking about and working through the process for I know a couple months now, reclassifying from the 2026 class to 2025. First off, kind of just take us through that process a little bit, what it's kind of been like for you to come to that decision and ultimately decide to, move up to 2025.
The coaching staff introduced the topic to me in this summer after when I did the workout earlier in June, and just when I came up for Big Cat, they just kept asking and just explained all the pros that came with the decision, and I thought it through and made my mind up beginning of August. I've just been full head of steam since then.
Yeah, what was it? What were some of the biggest perks, I guess, in your mind about moving up to 2025?
I would just say just getting in there and getting under the players and the coaches and getting under that culture and just being able to learn at such a young age. Like especially getting under Connor, how good he is, and I just feel like that'll help my future more. I think it's just go ahead and getting in there at a.
Yeah, you mentioned that workout that you did there in June, and Coach Thornton is a guy that you've gotten to know really, really well. I mean, well before the thought of even reclassifying popped up. I mean, you committed to Auburn tail end of your sophomore season, kind of right there as that was wrapping up. What was it about Jake Thornton, Hugh Freeze? What was it about Auburn that made you feel so comfortable, not only to commit early, but now to move up and skip your senior year of high school and jump in early?
I would just say, again, I say it all the time, but the family feeling I get, it's different from just any other college. It's kind of unexplainable, but they're real people. And a lot of coaches put on a recruiting face, but I don't see that from the coaches at Auburn, and they keep it real with you. And with Coach Thornton, I can have real, genuine conversations, and we can relate with each other. And it's just when you have that, it's hard not to want to play for coaches like that. So.
Before we keep moving on, everyone make sure that you go follow Kail. If you're listening, he's on Instagram at Kail Ellis, on Twitter at Kail Ellis78. Those links are going to be down below. On the screen, if you're watching on YouTube, our lovely intern Patrick is going to have that pop up as well. So you guys can go from there as well. So have that. Kail, this 2025 class and even, the 2026 guys as well, feels like you guys are super tight overall. I mean, I know you and Ryan are super close, but I went to go and see JJ Falk play on Friday, and he mentioned that he's gotten to know you and gotten to know Ryan and some of these other guys as well. Everyone's super tight. What is it about this group, or what is it about that Coach Freeze has built where it's, everyone feels pretty connected?
I would just say how Coach Freeze kind of how he groups us. Like he makes sure that all of us have the ability to talk to each other and communicate, because he knows that's huge, and how that'll translate when we get to college. Because, I mean, he tells us every day that he knows this 25 class is going to do something special, and the 26 class. Like, when we get there and we can make an impact. And just everybody, it's huge that everybody's on the same page, I guess. And so he really tries to push that. And I just feel like when everybody's on the same page, everybody clicks, and we all get together. And I can't imagine how it's going to be when we get to AU. So.
Yeah, you mentioned that 25 class. Get Deuce this week. You guys are making a push to try and get the number one class in the country. How exciting is that?
Very exciting. Definitely really cool to be a part of, for
sure. What about the offensive line haul? I mean, you've talked about it. You're joining now, but you've got big TJ Dice, you've got Brody Shull, Kobe Ward, Spencer Dolan, Ty Buster, all those guys. And I mean, you've talked about it as well, recruiting other guys. You're not done. You're still trying to go add a guy like Andrew Babalola, add a guy like Nelson McGuire. How much fun is it knowing that you've got a ton of dudes joining alongside you?
It's awesome. I mean, I'm biased, but I think it all starts up front, and having a group like we got, guys that are gritty and just want to get after it, I just feel like it's gonna it's just gonna help us out a lot in the long run. And again, if trying to execute on guys like Andrew and Nelson, finish out the class. I mean, it's a big class, but we're losing guys up front this year, and um, just excited to get to those guys and play with them. They got all great personalities. We all get along well, and it's just awesome to be a part of.
What do you think it is about this group? You included where, we saw it last year with the wide receivers where normally fans would think, oh, well, they want to, he wants to be the only guy. He wants to be the main guy. But Auburn brought in 4 really good ones last year. And Auburn's bringing in a bunch of good offensive linemen this year. What do you think it is about this group where everyone feels, we can all go there together and we can all make an impact together? Is that kind of it?
Yeah, I would say Coach Thornton does a good job at that. I mean, I think Coach Freeze translates it down to him and all the other position coaches to make sure that everybody in the position group gets along and has a relationship with each other. Because I mean, when you all have a relationship, where it's all going to click and we're all going to want to play together. So I just think we've done a great job at communicating with each other and building that relationship. And I just think that is just gonna translate again when we get there with our.
Kail, a couple more, then I'll let you get out of here. Obviously, it hasn't really been the start to the season that Auburn has wanted. We're recording this over the weekend, right before the Georgia game. Actually, y'all won't see this until Tuesday. So 2-3 start, not exactly what Auburn wants, but so far this class is really, we talked about it earlier. This class is stuck together. Everyone feels like they can be the change. Is that kind of how you approach things as well?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it sucks seeing us lose the games, but I just think, again, like you said, us, the recruits, and seeing that, I just think that it pushes us together and pushes us harder just to know that we can really do things. I mean, starting with the 24 class, we already have a bunch of 24s playing and making a big impact. So I just think that combination of when we get there, it's going to be scary. So, yep.
Kail, for you, last one here. What's your message to the Auburn fans?
I'm just ready to be there. I'm ready to be in Auburn, and I mean, I hope some of y'all see me at all the games because I mean I'm there, but I'm just ready to be enrolled and ready to make an impact.
There we go. Kail Ellis, Auburn's newest, I guess you could say, 2025 commit. Although he's been an Auburn commit for a while now. Kail, appreciate you hopping on. Like I said earlier, follow him on Instagram at Kail Ellis. Follow him on Twitter at Kail Ellis 78. Those links will be down below if you're watching on YouTube, and it should be on the screen as well. So appreciate Kail hopping on, and we will catch you guys